All right, today we're diving into something really special, a mystery pieced together from a collection of fragmented personal logs. What we have here are session notes that lay out this incredible story of conspiracy, forgotten magic, and a prophecy in the making, all found within what we're calling the Stonepass Tapes. Let's start with this really cryptic question, found scribbled in the notes. You know, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. But the crazy part is, this whole epic story, it starts with something much, much simpler. A debt that needs paying. So, let's set the scene. We're in the city of Stonepass, a city that, let's just say, likes to keep its secrets. We find ourselves in a tavern, and the innkeeper, a guy named Cinderus, is in some deep trouble.
1,000 gold. That's a lot of money. And it's the debt hanging over our innkeeper's head. A local gang calling themselves the Rocks has shown up to collect, led by this fearsome barbarian named Onyx. Now, this looks like your classic gang shakedown, right? But remember, this is Stonepass. Nothing is ever that simple.
So on the surface, this looks pretty straightforward. You've got the party trying to protect the innkeeper, you've got Onyx and her gang who just want their money, and then there are these whispers that the mayor himself might be pulling some strings. But here's the twist. When our heroes can't cough up the cash, Onyx makes them an offer that just flips the whole situation on its head.
And just like that, what started as a simple debt collection, it blows up into a full-blown political mission. Her offer is simple, really. Capture this guy named Basil, and poof, the debt is gone. All of a sudden, this isn't about gold anymore. Okay, so who is this Basil guy? Well, the notes call him the Sewer Rat, and he's apparently the leader of this resistance movement fighting against the city's corrupt leadership. But of course, there's more to it. Another question pops up in the notes right away, hinting that his story goes way, way deeper. And get this, the really interesting part is who is asking this question. It's not some spy or a political insider. Nope. It's coming from a soothsayer, a woman named Granny Urknall, who's been having these really powerful visions. So according to these tapes, it's not just her. Every soothsayer in the city is getting the exact same vision. They see this path of mudwort and broken glass, and they know their job is to find the true heir to the throne and declare it. And this is where it all clicks together. Someone checks the city registry and finds out that Basil, well, his real name is Ossium. He's a noble kid who everyone thought died in a fire 47 years ago. So the leader of the resistance, he might actually be royalty. Okay, so faced with this, world-shattering information, the party realizes they are way, way in over their heads. Fighting their way out isn't an option, so they decide to play a much, much riskier game, a game of pure deception. So they go back to Onyx and say, okay, we'll do it. But it's a total lie. It's a cover. Their actual plan is to get on the inside, get close to Onyx and her mysterious boss, this guy named Omer, and figure out what's really going on with all this corruption. And to sell it, to make it really believable, they're going to fake a betrayal within their own ranks.
I mean, talk about high stakes. This is a massive gamble. And they find out just how brutal the consequences of failure are when they get back to the inn. Their friend Cinderus, the innkeeper they were trying to protect, he's been hanged. It's a message. A very, very clear warning to anyone who gets in their way. So while the party is trying to untangle this deadly political mess, the notes, they start to reveal something even deeper, something far more personal. It's not just that nobody is who they seem on the outside. It turns out our heroes, they don't even know who they are. It's a story about how your identity can be stolen, not just from the world, but from yourself.
One of them is under this eraser spell. Their past is just gone. A total blank slate. I mean, just think about that for a second. How can you trust anyone if you can't even trust your own memories? And the only ways to break it? Well, they're not great. You either have to find the original caster and kill them, or you have to die and, somehow come back to life without magic. The options are pretty grim.
And then there's this really haunting message that pops up. Faciasta de no, ma parasesti. It translates to, you do this again, you leave me. It comes from this mysterious figure, Noyer, and he shows up in this bleak place called the Plane of the Forgotten, a realm one of the characters gets banished to for a moment. This line, it hints at this deep, painful history that's been completely wiped away. And this is the point where the whole conspiracy just goes from political to cosmic. The notes are filled with these crazy encounters, not just in their world, but in other planes of existence. There's talk of a 300-year-old necromancer named Levi Storm, who somehow knows their hidden past. And they even find corrupted temples dedicated to old, forgotten gods. This whole web is so much bigger than just the city of Stonepass.
So now they're fugitives. They're being hunted, they're wrestling with these huge gaps in their memory, and all of that pressure, well, it pushes every single one of them to their absolute breaking point.
1,000 gold. Remember that number. That's the price now on each of their heads. Their faces are on wanted posters all over Stonepass. And the irony is just brutal. The exact amount of money they couldn't pay to save their friend is now the bounty for their own capture. But this pressure, it doesn't just break them. It reforges them into something new, something dangerous. You've got Aviana, who shatters her sacred oath to become this oathbreaker, serving a dark entity of ruin and fear. Then there's Iris, who gets a visit from a god named Aesir, who calls her his shard and gives her the mission to bring about godfall. Yeah, the death of a god. And all the while, Bard is being absolutely tortured by these visions of a past he doesn't remember, a past that might involve murder and some huge family secret.
You know, it's wild to think this whole thing started with a simple gang shakedown, and now it's escalated to overthrowing a corrupt government, recovering their own stolen memories, and maybe, just maybe, fulfilling a divine prophecy that could decide the fate of the entire world. The stakes just keep getting higher and higher.
And that really is the huge, powerful question that these fragmented tapes leave us with. When prophecy is demanding a hero, but your own memory is a complete lie, who do you choose to become? You can't rely on who you were. Your only choice is to decide who you are going to be. It's a puzzle with no easy answers, and you get the feeling the story is a long, long way from being over.